The Apostle Paul gives us some tremendous insight into the things that I've been addressing this week on the broadcast. And it has to do with this realm of spiritual activity, the spiritual heart, the awakening that takes place in the heart of a believer when a person comes to faith. Because somewhere along the line, a seed has been sowed and it's grown. Others have come along and planted and watered on the seed, and then it's become mature. And that person now is a person who has stepped into the realm of spiritual awareness. Now, they have a lot to learn. The Apostle Paul talks about that in 1 Corinthians. He says that in the beginning, you're a babe in this thing. You're not ready to take on spiritual food. You're still eating the meat, or you're not ready for the meat. You're still drinking the milk. I mean, all of those things that he talks about, this has to do with growth and maturity. But he talks about this. He said, comparing spiritual things with spiritual things. The natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit. In other words, you're not going to have an identity of spiritual awareness in your flesh. It's not going to happen. A lot of people try to build faith movements based upon the flesh. And when I say the flesh, simply this. He said, just give the people a whole lot of do's and don'ts. Say, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. Well, the thing is, all of that is just operating from the flesh realm and trying to fix everything in the flesh, and it just doesn't work that way. Because the Word of God says the heart of man is deceitfully wicked. And that's the natural man. But the man who comes to spiritual awareness and allows God to begin to work in the heart. I said this earlier in the week. I said, Christianity is all about the heart and the spiritual relationship between God and man. And so God begins to work on the heart. And when the transformation is made within the heart of a person, then it begins to make the changes. And God will do it in His way and in His time. And sometimes it's amazing how quickly God works, because I'm just mindful of this little song we've sang years ago in the church that says that the things of earth grow strangely dim in the light of His glory and grace. And I just think those words are just so true, that when the spiritual light comes on and a person begins to be aware of their own spirituality, then the things of the world begins to have less allure to them. And you desire those things less, and you desire that real relationship with the Father even more. And you find yourself literally, as Jesus talked about, it says, wanting to lay your treasures up in heaven where the devil can't get at it anymore. That's the way I say it. He said, lay your treasures up in heaven where moth and rust does not corrupt. And I just simply say, where the devil can't get to it and take it away anymore. Because you've made your investment in spiritual things, and you're looking upward, and you're looking toward the Father. And He is maturing you and growing you in your spiritual awareness, and you're absolutely more aware of spiritual activity going on all around you. This is Pastor Jack King with the gospel on the radio broadcast.